my God.
Let's go, let's bear witness. He is broken in half.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all ages, welcome to your All-Star Wrestling Podcast with the latest WWE news and rumors. And welcome everybody to the live stream, to the podcast here. I am your host, the Boss King, Chase Carter. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff going on in WWE this week. We want to get right into it. We got an update here on Luke Harper's WWE return to WWE. It says, as noted, Luke Harper tore his ACL this past March and was expected to be out of action for up to 6 months, which would be around mid-September. I said, according to PW Insider, it says Harper will be at WWE Performance Center this week to test his knee and possibly be cleared to return to action. And the latest rumor we're hearing is that Luke Harper could possibly be at SmackDown's pay-per-view coming up here on September 11th at WWE pay-per-view Backlash. It's the latest rumor we're getting in. We also got a tweet here about who's got Bayley's old WWE NXT locker. It says, I heard at WWE Peyton Royce took over my locker at the Performance Center. It says, I wouldn't have it any other way. Take care of my baby. And then Eva Marie changes her look once again. It said it looks like Eva Marie is back to her red look as she and this says the Miz and Maurice are in performing on the weekend here, doing some activities. And okay, so if we got any more updates on that, we will bring it to you. But what do y'all think about that? Luke Harper possibly could be here at Backlash coming up. If he's clear to compete, we'll just have to wait and see if that happens. Lots of stuff, like I said, changing for the minute. We get it coming in. For the minute from the hour, they change. They get out. The rumors come in, and then Goldberg returning to WWE, still in the talks here. And it says on Goldberg's returning, it says Justin Lundberg says, I'm not going to lie and say when Goldberg does show up, whether watching at home or there live. It says I'm going to get up, and I will be interesting if I will be a moment we haven't seen Goldberg in over 10 years. It said he is still a name, but it might end after his entrance. It says I'm not possessed to see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, but granted it is a different Lesnar than 2004 when the last they fought. But Goldberg isn't beating Brock Lesnar. It says I'll be interesting to see the entrance. And that's about it. It says on Bo Dallas, it says, Josh says here, Eisenberg, it says, there is things for Bo Dallas, take your shirt, coat, and leave. And then Longberg, it says, wow, hash, like you've never been drunk on a plane. And this was just a back and talk interview here. And Eisenberg says, I have, but I've never been to a point of being kicked off the plane because you're too loud and the pilot doesn't like you. And Lundberg says, you have sung the Lion King through. Now Eisenberg says, as I've been a fantastic, let's get not into the history though. He says, Bo Dallas is no further with him. Different situation. I have been utilized as someone's important in WWE, which isn't. And it says low, the talent gimmick never really got over after coming from NXT. Its behavior WWE doesn't need on their hands. And that's the latest on that. And yeah, what Bo Dallas doing getting drunk on a plane, that's just common sense stuff. You don't do that on a plane, you get kicked off. And that's just what happens there. It really blows my mind that some of this stuff that goes on in WWE and outside of WWE, And it really just blows my mind that why would they do something stupid like that? But you never know. Okay, we got another update coming up here. Latest rumor we're hearing that Triple H is not advertised for the upcoming Monday Night Raw tomorrow, which it will be tomorrow night. It says the game is not advertised for Raw, but there is no need necessary to stop him from appearing. It says last week Triple H shocked the WWE Universe when he unexpectedly appeared for the first time since WrestleMania 32. And not just that, he pedigreed his former associate Seth Rollins, the alliance with Kevin Owens here, when he walked this past Raw. General Manager Mick Foley and the Commissioner Stephanie McMahon. It says the two faces told their own story. Foley was frustrated, while Stephanie looked on with utter shock and disbelief. It says the look on Stephanie's face proved one thing: the Authority storyline truly did include at WrestleMania 32. It says it is going to be extremely interesting to see the direction that they go from here. Perhaps Triple H on Owens alignment here could be less authority-like and more like the two-man power trip. It says one of the biggest parts of the finish on Raw was that everyone simply cannot want to tune in next week episode of Raw and see what the follow-up to the finish that created many possibility storylines here. Many possible storylines definitely did. This is one of the things that people are looking forward to is the game and him explaining his actions and the confrontation with Seth Rollins. However, it was reported that Triple H is not advertised for this Monday Night's Raw. It says, however, though, it says that doesn't discourage the King of Kings is still expected to appear in some capability. So the alignment here with Kevin Owens and the confrontation with the newly tuned Rollins may still very well happen. It says, however, even if it doesn't, you can still expect the Cerebral Assassin to appear once in a while on WWE television, as it's being said that this is an all building up to Triple H versus Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania 33. That bout was expected to take place at WrestleMania 32 this year, but naturally couldn't after Seth Rollins' devastating knee injury. It is not known as of now what the plans are for Kevin Owens' title reign. It is possible that he will be holding it for a longer, and perhaps it could even be the WWE Universal Champion heading into WrestleMania 33. Since thinking of Owens as champion at WrestleMania, the very first name that springs to mind for the match is Sami Zayn. However, though, it says that is unlikely since Zayn is built up is very likely going to be slow and organized, as it should be. Perhaps even returning Finn Balor, if he returns, could come to reclaim the title that he never lost. And that is the very latest news we got there on Triple H possibly not going to make an appearance this coming up Monday night on Raw. What do y'all think about that? Because a lot of times they say that a superstar is not going to be there, and lo and behold, they drop in. So, just because they're saying that he's not going to be there, don't just go out and just say, hey, oh, he's not going to be there. Because every time they say he's not going to be there, look what happened. Stone Cold ended up dropping in one night, whenever they said he wasn't going to be there, and he was there. So, you just don't never know. And the latest rumor now we're getting on Finn Balor to miss the WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view coming up. Here is the very latest. This is previously reported here. It says Finn Balor has suffered a torn in his knee, leg, and had to have surgery. It is his match against Seth Rollins at the WWE SummerSlam event. And it says he is expected to be out of action from 8 to 9 months. And it says the diagnosis of Balor was that he could be back 4 to 6 months. However, once doctors opened him up, they discovered broken bones inside. It says while a Royal Rumble return is being pretty much ruled out, it says we have been told that the return around WrestleMania 33 is a possibility. It says speaking of Balor, since WWE has been frequently providing injury updates because the company wants to keep him as hot as possible while he's out injured to continue pushing him when he returns. Wow, so there's the very latest on Finn Balor update there. And like I said, we're getting more news and information on Finn Balor's injury update. We will bring it to you. You will be the first to know. But looks like he possibly has a broken bone in his knee there, his leg, and that's not good. That's going to have to require more time for him to heal, a process, and it's going to be excruciating pain for Finn Balor to go through that. So we wish him a speedy recovery through this painful time. And then we got our plans for the WWE Women's Championship title. And here it is. It says WWE has plans for Bayley to challenge Charlotte at the September the 25th at WWE Clash of Champions event. It says, however, though, it says Charlotte isn't expected to drop the Women's Championship. WWE wants to have Sasha Banks challenge Charlotte for the title as soon as possible. It says, speaking of Sasha Banks, she could be back to WWE programming as soon as next week, but definitely before the end of the month. As previously reported, it says Banks was given time off to heal from her nagging injuries. And there is the very latest on the plans for the WWE Women's Championship title reign for Raw. And what do y'all think about that? And who y'all think's going to win there at Clash of Champions between Charlotte and Bayley? And let's go over some other stuff here. We got a lot of stuff, but we got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are probably wondering what's going to be going on for Roman Reigns. You know, what's going to be the direction they're going to be going for him now. It says, what's next for Roman Reigns? In question mark here. It says, coming out of the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns is expected to resume his feud with Rusev for the WWE United States Championship. It says, as previously reported here, it says WWE's plan to have Reigns work a short program with Rusev as the way for Reigns to work his way back up the ladder. It says the ideal was for him to prove himself and once again try to get the fans behind him. It says plans shifted when Balor went out with an injury, and we have been told that those plans will go back on track now that the Universal Championship has been decided. There is the very latest on Roman Reigns. Looks like he's going to continue his feud with Rusev for a while for that United States Championship. And it doesn't look like Roman Reigns is probably going to be pushed back up to the top of the ladder just yet. But being a United States Championship is no it's a good thing as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Roman Reigns. I think a lot of fans want to see him heel, and we did hear rumors of like the Usos possibly turning heel. If that's still going to happen, that would be interesting. And we'll just have to wait and see what that is going to be happening on that, and what direction are they going to go with Roman Reigns there after the Clash of Champions coming up. It'd be quite interesting to see what happens with that. And who's ready for Backlash? I know I am. I'm very excited about it. Can't wait for it. I really hope that Backlash is really going to be everything that we thought it would be since the brand split come up here. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it. I'm really looking forward to it. And Clash of Champions, so that's like a WCW pay-per-view that WCW used to do, that they brought that back. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what they do with that. And it says Triple H sent out a tweet here. He says, due to overwhelming demand, it says the WWE NXT TakeOver Toronto, for NXT's TakeOver, the night before Survivor Series will be returning. What do y'all think about that? Very excited about that. Going to be very fun to see NXT's TakeOver back in Toronto again. And we got some news on Enzo Amore for you. It says news on Enzo. It says he could be the next big thing in WWE. It says WWE roster has been flooded with the new talent, and one can't help but notice Enzo Amore. It says he's recognized for his mic skills and chemistry with his tag team partner Big Cass. Fans can't help but be drawn into their gimmick. It says ever since their debut in NXT, they have always succeeded to catch attention of the audience. It says constantly electing responses from the fans in the arena during promos. This showmanship might elevate them to the next level, as there have been talks to make Enzo the new top star in the ring. It says there can be credibility, and there's rumors, as we recently saw Enzo's partner Big Cass main event Raw in a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for the WWE Universal Championship. And there we go. And let's see, we may have some more update here on this. Hold on one sec. Yes, we do. There's more to this story. Yes, this is many find generally capable of getting off script, but managing to keep the crowd active nonetheless during his promos. Says something that has served him with being recognized by WWE brass to genuine star material. Says Enzo Amore has gone against stereotypes set for the company. When Vince McMahon preferring big muscular wrestlers as top baby faces as opposed to legitimate cruiserweight category wrestlers. It says he's joined the likes of Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, and previous few others who have managed to break free from the glass of ceiling. It says we have also seen the birth of a cruiserweight division that has produced a cruiserweight classic tournament with the action-packed performance leading the introduction of the title for the same on Raw. And organized here. And it says WWE Universe has also, with understand here, Finn Balor, and it says who isn't typically size heavyweight superstar, crowned as the very first WWE Universal Champion. It says the Certified G and the Demon King were both praised by the Minister Saint, starting that there must be heading into the cruiserweight division in order to establish their stardom as well as a division itself. And it says MSL also pointed out that it would be legitimately pointless if WWE doesn't want to put top stars in the new division, according to the InQuitSir.com here. And it says MSL also concluded that expressing the ideals if Enzo was made Cruiserweight Champion and Seth Rollins as the World Heavyweight Champion, then give it a few months, and I think Enzo belt would be drawing more. Do you agree? What do y'all think about that? Let me know. About Enzo Amore possibly getting a big push to be one of the top stars. I think he definitely has all the makings and the charisma and everything he needs to be a top star. You know, Big Cass and Enzo were definitely one of the best tag teams right now on Raw. We do have an update here on 4 superstars who are still free agents. Let's give you the very latest on this. It says, we are approaching the 2-month mark of the WWE draft, and it says just about every superstar on the roster is locked into a other Raw or SmackDown. As we have seen from names such as Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Apollo Crews, and all having legitimate spots at SummerSlam. It's a mission forward to the new era. The movement is alive and well. During the WWE draft, former WWE Tag Team Champions Heath Slater was left without a brand to call home. Since then, he has been following between Raw and SmackDown, and just recently had the opportunity to finally land the brand by being a part of SmackDown Tag Team Title Tournament. While still considered a free agent, Slater should not feel alone, as there are others who have yet to be picked up. Here are the 4 superstars who are still free agents. Okay, we gotta play the video here, I guess. Alright, well, we may have trouble with the video. Let's go to the next page here. Just 1 second. It says WWE are approaching 2-month mark. Okay, we already covered that part. Yeah, well, we don't get this one to work. Okay, here we go. We got Luke Harper as number 4. So what do y'all think about that? Luke Harper, still a free agent. You know, he's been injured. He could go to SmackDown Live brand. That's a possibility here. Emma, of course, she's been injured. Who remembers Emma? She's been out of action for a while. And they could definitely use her on SmackDown Live as well. But she's healthy enough to come back. And also The Rock. And The Rock is still a free agent. I don't know how much WWE would be able to do with that, but I mean, since The Rock created SmackDown, it would make sense him to be drafted to SmackDown. And also, number 1 is The Undertaker. Is the number 1 guy who's, you know, been the guy who basically carried SmackDown Live. Whenever SmackDown, I mean, before it was even a live show. So, all them guys are still available. And you know that they could possibly use them at some point. May not, everybody be full time there, but definitely not like The Rock and Undertaker. Definitely won't be full time. But we're just gonna have to wait and see with that. And it's gonna be interesting to see what they can do with that. And we do got another update here on Ryback. Apparently, he's still upset with Mr. McMahon. We're going to give you the rundown of this story here, right here. It says Ryback is still upset with Vince McMahon here. And it says receiving the IC title prior to contract talks here. It says from the business standpoint, it says I did not agree with them a lot of things, and I do not live in fear, and I refuse to live in fear. And I think people, if they knew the true story, they would know the true story, because that's why we're here, that they will understand why I did what I did. And it goes back to the last year. It says winning the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It says I feel like I have been their guy, and I was never chosen to be their guy. A kid, it was caught off guard. But why are they putting the Intercontinental title on me here? It says it just seemed as random. And it says I thought that they had no committed to me numerous occasions, and that was something that always really bothered me. And it says that put the IC title on me, and then that's kind of when things took a turn for the worst. It says when they came to me with a new contract offer, which I okay, and that makes sense now. And it says I wasn't happy with. It says quite frankly, and for where I've been in the company and what I have done. And this is a pretty productive, long interview. But like I said, that Ryback's still unhappy, and he seemed like he just never got pushed right in WWE. It's kind of really sad. Ryback's story there. He was such a big star. I always did like him. Okay, let's give you an update here on what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw. If sometimes when Raw goes off the air, we're unable to, find out what happens. So here we go. It says, hi everyone. It says, today I'm trying to make sense of what happened on the following main event of this week's Monday Night Raw. It says, firstly, I say, was not expecting to see Triple H. So that was a good or bad surprise, depending on how you feel about him. As is the build-up hinted Roman Reigns' dominance, as it let the others talk among themselves until someone asked him a question. Then he's not cleared up without uttering a word, and says, I do have to say, Reigns' body language is very negativity here. A word. It says, I do have to say, Reigns, okay, I already read your part. These days are going through the motions, and he knows his career's taking a major hit and won't be recovering anytime soon. And it says, as far as Rollins, this is the main event seemed like a logical choice here to win. And as he challenged for the title and lost for Balor, it's safe to say that he won the Universal title on Raw and would have returned last year the authority angle with Rollins ruling the show. As is at least for Stephanie's support, it seemed as they showed their friendliness to each other with a hug. It says at that point it felt like a done deal to me. It says Seth was going to win, but the big cast was eliminated by a sneaky Kevin Owens. It says I began to wonder if the only real chance was KO. And it says that match continued. It says I brought Owens win this. And it says I knew it could, but I couldn't be sure if I was fine with either Seth or KO winning the title. But I didn't want to be going to the Reigns and had zero faith, and it would go to Big Cass. And this is just a little rundown of what happened on Monday Night Raw. What do y'all think the direction with Raw? I mean, the whole thing with Triple H coming out to help Kevin Owens, winning the Universal title last Monday night was a complete shock. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I don't think there was any rumors of Triple H returning to WWE. And not only did he turn on Roman Reigns, which was no surprise there, but he turned on Seth Rollins. And that was really a big shock because everybody thought, assuming that they were together or some kind of alignments there because with the authority angle. But apparently that authority angle is no longer existed. And that completely got to be shocked to everybody. But that's no longer, I guess they're no longer together. So we're going to have to wait and see with that. It's going to be interesting what direction they're going to go with Kevin Owens down here at Universal Championship. Definitely going to make things very interesting here in the upcoming weeks for Raw, for say the least. And, Clash of Champions coming up here. It definitely looks like we're going to be seeing Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins at the next pay-per-view Clash of Champions. And let's see, we got another update here on Samoa Joe. It says WWE posts a storyline injury update on Samoa Joe from the NXT's takeover back to Brooklyn. Apparently, Samoa Joe's injury is a storyline injury. And it says WWE's tweeted out the following storyline injury update on Samoa Joe yesterday. It says during the video, WWE says that Joe has yet to be medically cleared after suffering a broken jaw at NXT's takeover back to Brooklyn 2. And there you go. There's the very latest on Samoa Joe. He's still not medically cleared to compete, saying he suffered a broken jaw, which we're now hearing that is only a storyline injury. So, so far as we know, that Samoa Joe's going to be okay, and he's going to be returning soon. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Samoa Joe when he does come back. Because he's going to definitely get his rematch against Shinsuke Nakamura for that NXT championship. Will probably be happening at the next takeover, I'm assuming. That would be the smart direction to go there. And let's see, what else? We got some more stuff here to talk to you about. We're not just done just yet. And, we heard news of Mike Knox. Who remembers Mike Knox? It says he was not contacted by WWE, and apparently from what we heard, Mike Knox has also turned down an offer from WWE. And so apparently Mike Knox is not contacted here by WWE officials about a possible return to the ring as earlier reports suggested. It says what's happened was the person made a fake social media account under his name and posted updates acting as they were the former WWE superstar. For those who missed it, the imposter wrote here, it says, everybody knows I am a former WWE TNA superstar, as everybody also knows. It says WWE has also been attempting to reach out to former WWE superstars to help build the Raw and SmackDown Live destiny here. It says recently I was approached by the man called Mark Cabrano here. It says they offered me a full-time deal to return to Raw brand. It says I kindly declined. I am 38 years old. My body isn't capable of being a full-time WWE wrestler anymore. Like that, and back in the day in 2006. 10 years ago, I was the ideal of being an independent scene, mainly because I get to pick the dates I want to work. It says after a recent conclusion here, issues, it says I was advertised to retire, and I said no. 2 months later, it says I made a remarkable recovery and was cleared to compete. It says although just didn't feel as good as I used to when I used to wrestle full time. Since February of 2016, it says I've been semi-retired. If WWE decided to reconsider the offer for me a part-time deal, it says I will gladly accept it, but I was not a bad blood with WWE. It says I just can't physically compete full-time anymore. It says as TNA return goes consider, it is off the table. At least WWE knows how to pay their talents on time. Just saying. And there you go. And there's the very latest. And like I said, if we get any more news on Mike Knox, if he's returning or not returning, or anything else we hear about him, we're going to let you know. But it's been a long time since we've seen Mike Knox in WWE, so since 2006. So it's been a long time, and I don't know if we're ever going to get to see him again. But you could never say never in WWE. Anything's possible. All right, well, let's get you another update, another rumor here going on. It says WWE rumors. It says WWE has threatened to fire Paige if she didn't break up with Alberto Del Rio. What do y'all think about this? Is it true? It is Alberto Del Rio and Paige saga took to another turn today, as I was revealed on this week's episode of MSL. And the show here is hosted by former WCW Booker Kevin Savan and former Ring of Honor competitor Minister Saint LeBarn here. It says WWE has recently threatened Paige's job if she didn't end her relationship with the veteran Mexican grappler here. Fans had already been speculating that WWE didn't approve of Del Rio's relationship as much younger Paige a few weeks since they were drafted to a different show during the WWE draft. It says here, and unexpected from the show. It says Mark Carvano. It says also fans might know from Total Divas that kind of like the Office guy here approached Del Rio and Paige and individually here and harassed each of them about their relationship, as indicated that the Office wanted them to survive with their romantic relationships. And there is quite a lengthy here. We're going to not read all of it. But this is also the people selected that if there is a reason that WWE split them up for a draft, that they definitely what happened. It says the company did not want them together. It says they split them to a draft designed for a threatened to fire Paige if she didn't break up with Del Rio. It says Triple H, who is the executive vice president of talent, is reportedly not a fan of Del Rio and sees him as a bad influence on Paige and considers him as a factor in Paige being led astray and is not focusing on her career. Triple H is also the one who has reportedly killed the massive push that Del Rio was supposed to get in his re-sign with WWE last year. Although it says Del Rio won the U.S. Championship after defeating John Cena clean here in his first night. And it says it was all downhill from there. And then things are not looking good for Del Rio right now, and the rumors of him quitting WWE for the second time later the year pursuing. And it says there are probably last year's run of 39 years old Mexican will get WWE, and it has been an overwhelming to say the least. It says Del Rio is also going through a bitter divorce right now, and he's being accused of it allegedly here by his soon-to-be ex-wife, and it is sad that Del Rio Paige relationship may have to come to an end because of a clear from Paige social media updates that she is in love with Del Rio. There is the very latest, guys. And on the WWE News and Rumors, that's going to do it for this edition. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining us for this week, and we're going to be doing more updates here, so stay tuned to the All-Star Wrestling Podcast. Thank y'all and have a great day. Here is Shawn Mendez and Treat You Better. Goodbye, everybody.
I won't lie to you. I know he's just not right for you. And you could tell me if I'm off, but I see it on your face when you say that he's the one that you want. And you're spending all your time in this wrong situation, and anytime you want it to stop, I know I can treat you better than he can. And any girl like you deserves a gentleman. Tell me, why are we wasting time on all your wasted crime when you should be with me instead? I know I can treat you better, better than he can. I'll stop time for you the second you say you'd like me to. I just wanna give you the loving that you're missing, baby. Just to wake up with you will be everything I need, and this could be so different. Tell me what you want to do, 'cause I know I can treat you better than he can. And any girl like you deserves down. I know I can treat you better. I know I can treat you better. I know I can treat you better. Promise I'll never let you down. 'Cause I know I can treat you better than he can. And any girl like you deserves a gentleman. Tell me, why are we wasting time on all your wasted